If you get anxiety when you see trash in the forest, it might be because you watched Once Upon a Forest when you were young. Let's run through some of the characters as a refresher. Irresponsible grandpa, eco-terrorist, the goat, constant munchies, and inappropriate content. If this is your first time watching, make sure to like and subscribe as we get into the movie review, and make sure to stick around for some film facts.
Michelle! Michelle?
Now, if you really want to scare your kids into not throwing trash on the floor, then Once Upon a Forest is definitely the movie to watch. Back in 1993, when parents paid zero attention to what their kids were watching, as long as it mildly resembled a cartoon, Once Upon a Forest slipped through the cracks. It was a time when movies were shorter and did not mess around. For a 72-minute film, it gives you absolutely no time to breathe. It starts out with that false sense of security, easing parents into approval mode. But around 5 minutes in, when mom steps out, the narrative takes a dark turn. A guy throws a glass bottle out of his car window, triggering a catastrophic chain of events. A truck carrying poisonous gas blows a tire, crashing into the forest, brutally killing everything. Fast forward, with a couple of years of therapy under my belt, and here I am, ready to provide my take on Once Upon a Forest as someone who grew up watching it. Honestly, back in the 90s, when things like childhood trauma and all that didn't exist, this was a great movie. Now, all those years later, I am not showing this to my kids until they are maybe a bit older. For the film itself, I think it is like many of the animated movies back in the 80s and 90s, an overall great watch. It has such a good message that can be transported to people of every age. The environmental lesson implanted was way ahead of its time. And if you watched it as a kid, definitely revisit this gem. If you have never seen it because your parents actually paid attention or you were not born yet, you should look into it with a fresh perspective, because I still hold this movie with high regards, and as somebody growing up with it, I rate it a solid 9 out of 10. Diving into the behind-the-scenes details of Once Upon a Forest, initially conceived as a television movie, the production company opted for a last-minute change, deciding to pursue both theatrical and VHS releases. While the film struggled in theaters, the movie found redemption through strong home video sales. Originally titled The Endangered, the movie underwent a significant transformation when Fox Company stepped in. They deemed the original title unsuitable for a children's film and proposed Once Upon a Forest for its clickbait potential, an adjustment that ultimately paid off. Budget constraints led to the removal of approximately 10 minutes of footage and the complete elimination of Glenn Close's character. Despite these challenges, Once Upon a Forest remains a powerhouse of the 90s era.
What's happened? Where is everyone? Mommy! Daddy?
Michelle, no!
Thank you for watching. Comment the amount of years you needed therapy after watching this movie. Like and subscribe, and see you next time.